Dynasty Radio, 1382.
We gotta bless this function before we get things jumping off. Invoking our ancestors and all the great loved ones we lost. Fill up my cup, yeah. Gonna pour out some liquor and call on the great ones for them to be with us. We got the spirit so high, it's a celebration. You got me feeling so nice when we pour a libation. I go, I'm there. I go, I'm there. I'll call them out. Imhotep, call them out. Queen Top, call them out. Malcolm X, call them out. Say it with pride, with your force. That's my Ashe. Can I proceed? Open the way. Secure the truth. Ashe. Martin King. Ashe. Harriet Tubman. Ashe. And Drew Ali. Ashe. We respect your knowledge and we seek your wisdom. We invoke your presence to protect and guide. We got the spirit so high in this celebration, and you can feel those good vibes when we pour a libation. Pour out a little liquor for the homies. We honor only the real G's, not phony. If you don't know the culture, you would think it was baloney, but I can feel the spirit vibrating all on me. Open the way to the spirit world, then we communicate with the ones we love and take advice from the wise ones. And then I say I share, so let it be done. And you're the evolution of your lineage. All my ancestors live within me ever present. Gotta say creator as the source of all my blessings. I let it be known, on me I don't walk alone. We really need your advice in this situation. We're gonna call on your light when we pour a libation. We got the spirit so high, can you feel it? Can you feel those good vibes when we pour a libation? I go, I'm there. I go, I'm there. I'll call them out. Imhotep, call them out. Queen Top, call them out. Malcolm X, call them out. Say it with pride, with your force. That's my Ashe. Can I proceed? Open the way. Secure the truth. Ashe. Martin King. Ashe. Harriet Tubman. Ashe. And Drew Ali. Ashe. Ashe.
Rosa Parks,
Ashe. Mamba. Ashe.
Queen Amina,
Ashe. Ashe.
Queen Medina,
Ashe. Michael Jackson. Ashe.
Bob Marley,
Ashe. Into trouble. Ashe.
Marcus Garvey,
Ashe. King Selassie. Ashe.
Peter Tosh,
Ashe. Ashe.
Kwame Nkrumah,
Ashe. Obasanjo. Ashe.
Stanley Kubrick,
Ashe. Lester Luther. Ashe.
John Coltrane,
Ashe. Jimmy Young. Ashe. Ashe.
Bernard True,
Ashe. Fly Baba. Ashe. Ashe.
Akhenaten,
Ashe. Dr. Ando. Ashe. Ashe.
John Henrik Clark,
Ashe. 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 Ashe.
Dynasty Radio, 1382.
Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody, my mama has a Facebook. Your daddy has a Facebook. My auntie has a Facebook. My dog has a Facebook. Your church advertise on Facebook. Y'all sell chicken flakes on Facebook. Your pictures up on Facebook. Looking fly, you know that ain't how you look on Facebook. Your life stories on Facebook. Your chicken grease on Facebook. Your graduation on Facebook. Just because you took the gown don't mean you graduated. Come on, everybody has a Facebook. 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 You know that ain't how you really look. Everybody has a Facebook. This lady had a baby on Facebook. This man got shot on Facebook. Somebody got saved on Facebook. Ain't mad at you if that's real. Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. Come on, man. You know you got a Facebook. This girl met her daddy on Facebook. He was trying to explain why he took so long. Daddy, you should have just called my phone. You just got a computer and now you want me to come home. on Facebook. I met the person on Facebook. You met a person on Facebook. I didn't really know him. It's just a friend suggestion, and I took it. I misconfirmed. So, then I found out a stalker was on Facebook. And then they started stalking me on Facebook. Oh, Lord. This girl called me on Facebook. Okay, listen. Hey, everybody has a Facebook. I know everybody has a Facebook. If you got a computer, you have a Facebook. If you don't got a computer, you don't have a social life, because Facebook is the new social life. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Everybody has a Facebook. I ain't finished. Your wedding was on Facebook. Your status changed on Facebook. 3 weeks later, you was on Facebook. Then you were single again. Oh, God, really? Your girlfriend was on Facebook.
Hi, I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. If you can, this is Sister Yaffa Bay. Welcome to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. As you know, I only come on the last Wednesday of the month. Today is Wednesday, March the 25th. We are in the new year. We are in a new moon. We are in a blood moon, or should I say a waxing moon, which is new, building up. I don't know how much talking I can do tonight because I've been working diligently to overcome some illness that I allow myself to catch. And here, let me take a temperature here. The baby and I are both fighting this thing. She's 5 years old and has never been sick ever before. I haven't been sick in at least 10 years. I can't even remember the last time I was sick. So it's probably the result of me crossing my will a lot. It's probably also the result of me on the whole, I don't want to talk, I don't feel like talking, and the outcast is going, yeah, okay, well, shit, we can fix that. You won't talk. So I have been avoiding the phone, staying away from the phone, attempting to maintain my voice and not talk very much at all. We almost didn't do this show tonight because Empress T is unable to talk at all. Lady KJ has has a illness in the family that's extremely major. And whether you know it or not, my illness over here is extremely major. I almost lost the baby last night. Her temperature got up in the darn near bordering on 105 degrees. Once you have a child that starts getting a temperature that hot, you run the risk of potential brain damage and or death. So I didn't even realize how bad she was because she got up, which she didn't do the day prior. She laid around all day, didn't get up, didn't want to do anything. Yesterday she got up, she went in the room, she did her thing, and I didn't pay as much attention as I should have. My bad. She came in and she was like, I'm cold, and she was shivering and trembling, and I'm feeling her. I'm like, girl, you are burning up, you're sweating. Top of her head was throbbing. I'm like, oh, wow. I had to go find the thermometer, and I'm like, okay, we have a problem here. So as much as she was cold, I caused her to suffer because I had to put her in a cold tub of water with alcohol to cool her down because, alcohol wipes. Wiping her down with an alcohol-drenched towel wasn't cutting it. Patting her head wasn't cutting it. And as much as she was already freezing in her mind, I had to put her in the cold bathtub and then got her out and let her stand around drippy wet with the fans blowing on her. So I almost lost her last night. And as much as I almost didn't do the show, I know me well enough to know that had I not done tonight's show, I would have never come back to do another one ever again. So that's kind of how I've been feeling lately, like I'm just kind of tired of talking. But I'm here, and what we're going to wind up doing is spending some level of time doing questions and answers if anybody's got any questions. I wanted to remind the listeners that the last time we came on air, I did say something about plastic bottles for the men. I always have so much going on in the back of my brain and so much coming out that doesn't always all get out there. But, as soon as the show was over, within 30 minutes I realized, oh, Yaffa, you told him about the plastic bottles. You forgot the rest. I didn't even tell all of my listeners what I told my, the most significant men in my life. My man, my son, and my father, okay? Now, my son is ready to, he's going to make changes. My man is going to make changes. I don't know what my dad is going to do. But I warned you to refrain from drinking out of plastic bottles because of the BPA. And, my son, he was even so far as, well, yo, Moms, can I put the bottle, can I take the water out of plastic and put it in glass? It's like, no. Don't even take it out of the plastic in the first place. You have no idea if they took it out of plastic to give it to you. If you want a beer, you need to purchase your beer in a glass, not a can, because cans are the same problem as plastics. When you're drinking out of cans or eating out of cans, it's a problem for everyone, but it's most important for men. Drinking out of plastic bottles, drinking out of cans like soda cans, beer cans, and things of this nature, even eating food out of cans. They have the BPA, and that's B like Baker, P like Peter, A like Apple, and it means something that I can't pronounce, so I'm not even going to lie. If you Google search or Dog Pile, Quick, Start, Taste, DuckDuckGo, Ask Jeeves, Bing, Yahoo, whatever your search engine is these days, if you search BPA, male problems, something should come up. Anything that you are consuming that has that in it, it could be, canned foods, canned tuna, just too much of anything in a can or a plastic bottle can cause your penis to not be erect. And a lot of young males are having problems. This is not something that melanin-rich males have ever had problems with before. Now all of a sudden, there are people that are having these kinds of problems. And guess what they utilize to fix these types of problems? And this is not because of the BPA. Some people can't get your dick up issues in the first place. Brothers didn't have those kinds of issues until things like BPA that they didn't know about. That's in food and food containers and water containers and juice containers and liquor containers of plastic or cans. But in order for these other people's people to fix these can't keep your phallus issues, they use melanin that they are killing our people to take from us, okay? There's another reason why so many brothers are getting shot and lynched and murdered up and down the street, and always have been, but now they have a better reason for it now. Oh, we need body parts and organs, and we need melanin and melatonin and pineal glands and pituitary glands from these people. The fact of the matter is they'd have done better just becoming melanin-rich instead of attacking melanin-rich people to take something that you claim that you hate. You claim you hate my people. You claim you don't like us at all. You don't like so-called black folks as you're identified, but you're killing us off to take things that we have that you could have got on your own. At any rate, I wanted to remind the people, because I forgot when I brought up the plastic bottles, that also means cans. So men, stop drinking canned sodas, canned beers, stop eating canned foods. You're going to have to stay away from cans because too much of that stuff has the BPA in it. And phallic stiffness, prick-up problems is generally not a melanin-rich male problem. If these are problems that you find yourself having, this is probably why. A lot of our young men are starting to have these types of issues. Brothers used to be able to go almost like Energizer bunnies. So I don't know what's going on. We got brothers with serious things going on now because of this nonsense. I wanted to remind you of that. Also, and as bad as I'm doing right now, I am way better. At first I couldn't talk at all. It was hack cough, whack cough. I don't know what's going on over here. It's like fever, aches, cough, sneeze, runny nose, sore throat. I don't get it. It's like a cross between a cold, the flu, pneumonia. I don't know what we're dealing with over here, but it's like, Yaffa, you let yourself get vulnerable. I let myself get weak, taking calls when I didn't want to talk and things like that. And, you know, this is what I talk about when I tell people about crossing your will. Not only that, the van is down. I have to get the transmission rebuilt. And in the meantime, the baby and I have to jump on the bus. Well, the bus is a closed environment with a bunch of other people that got crap going on. They're hacking everywhere. A lot of them don't have the brains to cover their mouths or turn their head or cough toward the floor. And even if they did, a lot of them are touching the handles and the bars, and you're touching the handles and the bars, and whoop, there it is. But one of my homegirls, my ex-Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy buddy, you know, and as you know, I have had affiliations with 3 ex-law enforcement persons. One, the first love of my life, was an ex-San Francisco County Sheriff's deputy, who you may have heard me mention him before. He became a mechanic for United Airlines, and he went through some of this racial. I'm rambling here. He went through some of this racialism nonsense to get this job years ago. And this is what I'm talking about when I say people are so busy being white, they can't do what's right. When he got this job, and I'm rambling, I know I'm supposed to be going somewhere else, which I will go. When he went to get this job, he went in for this interview. The guy got on some whole, you know, the brother qualified. He passed the test with flying colors and the whole 9 yards. As a matter of fact, he became one of their tip-top mechanics. When they had major issues that they wanted done with a United Airlines airplane, they would have this brother jump on a plane and fly from one state to another state or wherever they needed a major issue taken care of. But this is a brother that almost didn't get the job because somebody was playing color games. And he's sitting up there getting the interview, and dude across the desk asked him, well, we got one more thing that you have to do. In order for you to get this job, I need you to tell me what day of the week such and such a date is in so-and-so a year. And he just was like, what? What does that have to do with the job? The dude was like, hey, that's the job. You want this job, you give me what day of the week it is on such and such a date in such and such a year. Well, it turned out that the guy, I guess, didn't even realize what he was doing because he had a big calendar hanging behind him that had some years before and years after in the calendar. So he just looked up there and told him what day of the week it was. And the dude, when he told him what day of the week it was, this guy was so stunned, like, damn, how did nigga know this answer? Nobody's supposed to get that. But he wound up having to give him the job because that was, you pass this question and you get the job kind of thing, as opposed to I'm going to hire you based on what you're about. So anyway, he used to be a San Francisco County sheriff. At any rate, that law enforcement ex-person, my buddy out here in Phoenix who used to be L.A. County sheriff, and then as you know, I don't affiliate with her anymore, but Deborah Jones, ex-NYPD police. But my ex-Los Angeles County sheriff buddy, she sent me a text, which and she sends me lots of texts with lots of news, as do other people. Lots of people send me emails and messages about things that they think that people should know. And if have some medicine, drink some of this medicine, drink some of this tea I made, that's what you need. If I spent all my time giving everyone all of these issues, done? Okay. Have some orange juice. I wouldn't get anything done around here at all, ever, of any kind. At any rate, she sent me a thing that I thought was significant to share, and what it was the federal government is putting banks on notice that if anyone comes in and attempts to withdraw $5,000 or more in cash, the bank employees are really supposed to call the police on them and report them. And it's like, wow, okay, so they stole the people's gold and silver. They shoved these Federal Reserve notes down your damn throat, and now they're controlling and dictating. Of course, we know the Federal Reserve is a private operation and a private organization, and none of us are part of this little club. So we're in I guess they're starting to make it known that, you're using an illegal document that's a debt instrument that's basically piling up the United States debt. And that's fine, but damn, why don't you tell the people what's going on, tell them how to rectify and remedy it so that they can, so that they're not compounding this national debt around here, these Federal Reserve notes, which they fail to do all the time. So now, if you want to go and purchase a motorcycle and somebody wants cash, or you want to buy a car, or you want to put some kind of cash down payment on a house that is a, a house for sale by owner, kind of thing, they can call the goddamn cops on you because you have the nerves to walk into the bank and go to what you thought was your bank account and attempt to withdraw 5,000 Federal Reserve notes of what you thought was your so-called money. Now, they want to know what that's about. You can become what they consider a terrorist suspect because you have the nerves to want that much money. Now, I've been in situations like that before, and I do recall way back in the day, and it wasn't that long ago, probably in the early 90s, you could go to an ATM machine and take out large amounts of cash. You could go into the bank and take out large amounts of cash. Then they got to the point where you can't really do large amounts at the ATM. So now you can't do larger than $5,000 at the teller either. And they even went so far, which a lot of people are not aware of, as to put damn near caps on how much you can spend per damn day. If you want to go, hey, I think, we just got a new house and we need some new furniture, we want some new sofas, we want some new dressers. You need things that are not inexpensive. I want to hire a contractor to come and change the counter or whatever the case may be, and you might go out in a day or two and spend a lot of so-called revenue, or what they keep claiming is money, and it's not money. Gold, silver, copper, and coins are money. But, people think that Federal Reserve notes are money. And they have the nerve to basically say, you can't walk in to certain stores and spend over a certain amount with your ATM card. You can't spend, per transaction. They have some per transaction limits. They have some per day limits. You'd be surprised what your so-called bank or financial institution has in place as far as limits on you. And a lot of people don't know about it because they haven't attempted to purchase anything that meets these types of dollar values, or as people call them, or as people think they are. Numerical values, I'll call it that, because they're not dollars. A dollar is a certain amount of silver. It's a particular weight of silver, and that is the lawful definition of dollar according to the U.S. But you guys should contact your banks and find out what are exactly your maximums. Just like, when you go into the post office, purchase, and I used to know the amount. I can't recall it now, but I have a sister who, for all intents and purposes, if you were to see her, she looks like a so-called white woman. Blonde hair, wide hips, flat backside, pale eyes, and the whole nine on my father's side. She's a supervisor for the United States Postal Service. So if I want to know anything about the post office, that's who I call. And at one point in time, she had let me know, you try to get this much money, if you try to purchase money orders in a particular amount, she gave me the amount. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. This was years ago. We have to report you. We have to report you if you try to purchase. And she said, and you can't walk up to a counter and get out and get in line and go to another cashier. We watch that kind of shit, too. You see what I'm saying? So you guys might want to try to look into what these limitations are on what you can do, because the people that everybody keeps calling white ran away from Europe for this very kind of control freak bullshit, and they got over here in the land of the free with the Lords of Liberty, my niggas, who basically helped liberate them from these type of control freak oppressors. They got white on nigga and threw us under the damn bus in our habitat, in our ancestral estate. And now we're back under these control freaks that they ran away from. They allowed them to come back over here with that dumb shit being so-called white. So look into it and see what's going on, because what we're dealing with now is the same crap that Europe was notorious for back before they even knew here existed. One more thing. Wow, I'm doing a lot better. Earlier, I was coughing and hacking and whacking and couldn't talk at all. See how the ancestors do? They clear my voice enough for me to say a couple of words. And I had even warned sis, sis, we might have to end early if I cannot talk at all. You know, if I lose my voice, if I'm hacking and whacking all over the phone, it'll be less than an hour show. But she was like, cool, no problem. She's out there. Like I said, she can't talk, but she's there. One other thing that I need to bring to everyone's attention that's important, it came to me from Lady Antoinette. The House of Representatives is introducing a bill that they're hoping will get the Patriot Act repealed. Now, you guys remember the Patriot Act, Patriot Act 1, Patriot Act 2. This is some Bush Jr. and Sr. garbage, the Patriot Act. These were their babies, okay, with their crazy Texas, Ashkenazi, crazy butts, whatever their deal is. But our people have been dealing with Patriot Act type behavior since these people jumped off these boats over here. These people are whining and crying and complaining about. Our people have been undergoing this nonsense since they arrived. You know what I'm saying? Being pulled over all the time, being searched for no reason, being felt up on, you know. And now these people, they go through the airports and they're screaming and hawking and crying and complaining that somebody has the nerve to touch them and feel up on them and look through their things and go through their stuff. Oh, well, join the club. This is the door that you opened up. You should have stopped it when we were complaining about it. Real talk. If they had stopped the nonsense when we were crying about it, instead of going, well, who gives a damn, niggers, fuck the niggers, whatever their trip is, and letting everybody go along and get along, it's like, don't you know that eventually this kind of shit will wind up on your doorstep? This very stuff that you allow will wind up at your, like the militarization of the police, will wind up on their doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, my sister, ex-L.A. County Sheriff, had sent me another thing, and the reason I thought it was interesting is because my son is an avid wrestling fan. And, you know, back in the day, I used to watch wrestling with him, so I know a little bit about some of this wrestling stuff. But there was a wrestler, and I forgot his name. He for all intents and purposes, so-called white, so-called blonde. Basically, they pulled him over in the ice cold and snow, left the doors open on his wife and infant in the car. She found this on the prisonplanet.com, Alex Jones website, which she seems to spend a lot of time there, or enough time to know what's going on. Me, I'm too busy looking at anybody's stuff, read anybody's stuff, listen to anybody's stuff, unless somebody sends it and says, yo, check this out. And sometimes I get overwhelmed and bombarded with that kind of stuff, and I just don't have time to look at everything. But I checked that out. He got arrested because he had the audacity, how dare he, to ask the police for ID. It's like, who are you? I don't know you. See, what the police seem to forget is that just because somebody pulls you over with a bunch of bright lights on you and walks up to you in a uniform, there is no guarantee that these are cops these days. No guarantee whatsoever. People are being, you know, even in Los Angeles, and I think it's an extremely dangerous practice, personally, but in Los Angeles, they are notorious, and probably across the country, for selling no longer utilized police vehicles, and I'm going to call them what they are, vehicles, because they're for business, to the mainstream public. And you see a lot of these gangsters, I'm talking about the SA gangsters, the so-called Raza gangsters, the Mexican gangsters, buying up these cars, rolling around with these cars. A lot of them have, they have, the cars are black and white still. They have spotlights on them. A lot of these dudes are riding around with megaphones and shit, and they're pulling people over, and people are getting raped, robbed, jacked, murdered. Because somebody walks up to your car with a goddamn gun and a badge does not mean they're a goddamn cop. And the police feel like, well, hey, I'm in a black and white car. First of all, not all police cars are so-called black and white. Some of them are undercover. That's one. Two, if I'm in the car in front of you and you're in a car behind me, I may not even be able to see what the heck kind of car you're in or what color it is, for that matter. You understand? The best I can see is your headlights at night, and even in the daytime. I can't tell what you're in if you're behind me, and the best I can do is look out a rearview mirror. And some people, even when they step out of the car, they're so busy manhandling people and brutalizing people, people still can't see what kind of car that they're in, and they figure, well, they knew I was a cop. I'm in a marked car and a uniform. I don't know that you're a cop. There are a lot of people running around here with police uniforms and badges that are not real and guns that are not cops. The guns are real, and the badge may be a real badge, but it doesn't make the person wearing the badge or the gun or the uniform real city or state or county law enforcement. There is no guarantee that that's what you're dealing with. And even if they're in a black and white car, it doesn't mean it's an actual being utilized in service police car, because I have seen a lot of private citizenry, a lot of ex-gangsters, they're current gang members riding around in black and white cars. And they have spotlights on them. And they got megaphones. That should be absolutely positively not allowed. Not allowed at all. So, when the police pull people over in places like Texas, their finger up your crotch or up your anus, something that kind of shit they've been doing to my people since forever. Matter of fact, didn't they stick a lot of our people on damn bidding blocks, sealing up on people and digging up your stuff? Nasty people, nasty. And the behavior hasn't changed. And they allowed that behavior to not only follow them, a lot of them brought it over here. You ran away from the shit, but you brought it over here, and you started enacting on us the same shit that ran you away. And a lot of people forget about, never mind the folks that ran away, they forget about all of the criminal element that got kicked out of Europe. We don't want you. You're rapers, robbers. Europe was a basically criminal element in the first place, a criminal whole operation from the church to the crown to the financiers, all criminal. Criminal. Everybody complained about the crown head taxing everybody. Well, you're taxing us without representation. Well, we're right back where we started with that now, aren't we? Then they were complaining about the crown militia can come in here and be quartered in our houses. They can come in when they want, take up shop when they want. They can lay in my bed and eat my food and screw my woman and my son, daughter, or me for that matter. No, we're not far from that now. If they can pull you off on the side of the road and stick their fingers up in your goddamn private body cavities. And this is stuff they're doing to people that look like them. They've always done this shit to my people. Okay, we didn't like it before, we don't like it now, we complain about it, and they just get so-called white on folks. But the House of Representatives is introducing a bill to repeal the Patriot Act, and that would probably be a good thing. It would be good if it would help our people, but again, our people have been dealing with it for a while, getting stopped and searched and frisked and felt up and, raped in some instances, robbed in many instances. And to this day, they're robbing people. We cried about it, they got white. So they turned around and came up with this damn law. But I think Eric Holder was telling them, you guys can't do that unless you're going to charge people with something. Okay, well, just because they charge somebody with something still shouldn't give them the right to take stuff, because one thing that melanin rich people know for a fact is that law enforcement is notorious for trumping up charges. That they do well. Paid liars. I've had ex-law enforcement tell me what they do. So anyways, you guys might want to know that whatever's going on, it's called the Surveillance State Repeal Act. Surveillance State Repeal Act. And it has a couple of Democrat and a couple of Republican supporters who might want to look into that and see if they want to throw any support behind it. It's something that probably does warrant some support. But, people, I don't know. In a minute, I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to see if anybody wants to take calls because I feel the congestion starting to act up again. I'm getting a little hacky again, but at least I can talk. Earlier, I couldn't, man. People that have tried to talk to me, all they can hear is cough, cough, hack, hack. I can barely get a word out edgewise. But I'm doing pretty good for the moment. Let me drink a little bit of my little tea concoction here. There was something that, this thing with, now I don't do coffee, but there's a thing going on with Starbucks and how Starbucks wants to try to make an effort to see if they can help resolve so-called racial relations, which I'm going to call skin color issues, because that's really what it is. All of my listeners know that race does not exist the way they're telling everybody. In order for you to be a race, you have to be able to trace yourself to the same set of parents. Most people cannot. If you have 3 or 4 sisters and brothers and you all have the same mother and father, the 4 of you or 3 of you are a race. If you have 3 or 4 brothers and sisters and any one of you has a different father or a different mother, yes, they are your siblings and your kin, but they are not your race because you don't have the same mom and dad. That's just based on what they say about the word race. Anyway, I've noticed that a lot of so-called white folks, so pink people, are getting kind of Starbucks. We're going to boycott Starbucks. To hell with Starbucks. Let's order their stuff and then don't pay for it. Talk about criminal. Again, a lot of what people are really about starts to come out. If you wait long enough, people will show you their stink, whether they mean to or not. Now, here's Starbucks. They're just doing their little piece to see if they can help. And it may or may not be a good thing, but it's an attempt, okay? Hey, and it's like we're not going to stand here and listen, have you lecture us about race relations when we're just trying to buy coffee. You really don't have to stand around and listen to anybody do too much of anything. You got place to go and things to do and people to see. I'm here for coffee, and that's a great point, but not right now, not today. I got to go. I got to get to work. Got to be in a meeting. Can I just have my coffee? But what they've decided to do is to boycott and to do things like order the most expensive stuff in Starbucks. Let them dispense it from the machines, whip it up, cream it up, nut it up, and do everything with it, and then walk out and not pay for it. So their whole thing is they can't put it back in the machines. So their thing is we're going to deplete their supplies. Well, how ignorant is that? That's just vicious. All you got to do, if you don't like it, don't go there. Or if you want their coffee and you like their coffee, you go get the coffee, and when they start telling you something you don't want to hear, I appreciate your effort, but I don't have time to listen to that right now. I really got other things to do. Thanks. That's kind of like you being straight and somebody gay coming on to you. You don't have to get all violent, or not violent. You don't have to get hostile and start manhandling people. All you got to do is go, well, I'm really flattered, thank you, but I'm not into it. I don't swing like that. I'm straight, but, thanks. And keep stepping, Just keep stepping. Obviously, you're attractive. You don't know how to take a compliment and keep stepping. You don't know how to buy your coffee and keep stepping. And what is it they say that is their reason for acting this way? How dare they try to put white guilt on us? We're not getting ready to sit by and spend our money so somebody can try to make us have white guilt. Well, first of all, what the hell is white guilt? And how can you feel it unless you have something to be guilty about? If you have nothing to be guilty about, you shouldn't have no so-called white guilt. But in order for you to feel any so-called guilt, I would think you have to have empathy and sympathy. A lot of these people that are behaving so viciously have no empathy and sympathy. in the first place. And it may be because they are melanin deficient in the second place. Not that all melanin deficient people are vicious like this, but a lot of these vicious people that are feeling like, I'm not only not going to pay you anymore for your merchandise, I'm going to come in and cause you to deplete your resources because that's how vicious and nasty I am, because you're trying to make me feel guilty. Guilty of what? I'm just saying, something wrong with this picture. Something wrong with this picture. I don't know. You know, it reminds me of the brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment I saw this woman attempting to do, just so people can get an opportunity to just see what other people feel. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to know it. I ain't doing it, and I ain't going through it. It's like, okay, well, you have the right to be so-called white and do that. What she's trying to say is people that are melanin rich don't have the right to say, well, I'm not playing. Because even if we don't want to play, the one thing that pale-skinned people do well is play the race game. And then as soon as you say something or do something, then they turn around and throw their bullshit in your face and accuse you of playing the race card. Well, hell, I'm playing the race card because you dealing from a race deck. It's your game, your rules, your deck. You don't walk into Las Vegas in any damn casino and come in there with your own damn rules and your own damn deck of cards, do your own damn thing. So if you're in here and you're winning your ass off because you're just on a lucky streak, and these people get angry with you because you're winning in their casino, you're playing by their rules, you're playing in their casino, on their table, with their dealer, and their deck, and they're mad because you have the nerve to be winning. Now they want to take you outside somewhere and beat you up and kill you off and accuse you of cheating because you got lucky. They want to start watching you, start changing dealers on you. I'm playing in your game with your deck and your dealer, and you're mad at me. Same thing with these people. Oh, you know, these black people, they always want to play the race card. Excuse me? Our people just basically going along to get along. We're just going along to get along. And everywhere we go, somebody always gets racial and skin colorized on us. And then turn around and accusing us of playing race cards. Well, this is a system that we helped initiate, but y'all basically set this racialistic system up with these racialistic-ass rules, and we're in your racialistic-ass casino, and you're dealing out racial damn decks of cards, and all the cards coming out the deck are racialistic. And when I throw the card back on the table to play the card, you go, oh, you playing the race card. Well, hell, bitch, these are your cards. Last time I checked, melanin rich people ain't running a whole lot of nothing here but their mouths. Even Obama, being melanin rich, he ain't really running nothing. He's got bosses. And I'm going to say it again, while everybody's running around here mad at all melanin rich people because we have a melanin rich president, you got shit screwed up. First of all, melanin rich people did not necessarily put Obama in office. A lot of our people don't vote. That's one. A lot of people that want to vote can't because they have, they're incarcerated or felons or whatever it is. They've been disenfranchised for whatever the case may be. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you take every melanin-rich individual in the United States, every woman, every child, any child big enough to stand up and hold a pen or pencil and punch the hole in the card, even though they are not voting age, if you took every melanin-rich individual in this country, voting age or not, including everybody that's incarcerated, senile, retarded, or whatever you want to call it, got them out there to vote, and they walked in and voted, and every single one of them voted for Obama. It is not enough votes to put him in office. Not to mention the fact that the people do not decide who becomes the president. That is not based on the popular vote. The Electoral College decides who's going to be the damn president. So you take your wrath that you're aiming at my people, and you turn it back around on yourselves or the people above you that you ran away from and turned around and let them get back over here above you, so busy watching me and mine. That's what you do. In the meantime, sis, do me a favor. I know you cannot talk. Hopefully you can talk enough to even call out a number on the switchboard. Or do you want to text the number to my cell phone, and I'll call it out? Because I'm going to try to see if anybody's got any questions for me, because today is just not a whole lot of talking day for me. If we have anybody that got a question or a comment about anything at all that I've ever said, including this DNA scenarios or whatever this bullshit is, and the more we wake up and the more we come up with it, the more they change the game, raise the bar, and change the rules. I'm going to remind my people, in case you forgot, we are still dealing with a criminal element. We are dealing with people that Europe didn't even want. People that got kicked out of Europe every which way but Sunday. Get out, get out. We don't want you here. Get the hell up out of here. We don't give a damn where you go. Get the hell up out of here. Take your ass to South Africa. Take your ass to Australia. Take your ass to Europe, Africa, India. We don't give a damn. Go to America. We don't care where you go. Just get the hell up out of here. They didn't want them then. They don't want them now. And then there were those that were not the criminal element. They were running away from the criminal element. You know, there's a movie I was watching. It's called The Dark Valley. I think it's on Netflix. I might have seen it there. Now, it's a good movie, but it's very slow starting and kind of slow paced. It's a movie it's a German movie that was done on some kind of Italian funding. I don't know what the deal is. But the thing about this movie, okay, all right. The sister said there are no hands up, so she's going to text me. You know, sis, if you see a number, somebody that pops their hand up with a question, you know, send me a text and I'll call them out and we'll see if we can get them to open their mouths and say something. But anyway, this movie called, oh, wait, hold up. Oh, okay, she said okay. This movie called The Dark Valley. It's about, you know, and I only mention this movie because it does a lot of telling, in my opinion. For people that are awake, you will see it in all its glory. Now, I mentioned it to two of my listeners, one in Maryland and my homegirl, my aunt. My aunt doesn't have Netflix, so she purchased it. And I told her, I said, sis, you know, I don't know if it's worth a purchase. You know, because usually when I mention a movie to her, because we think a lot alike, she'll go and actually purchase it for her collection so she can sit down and inspect it, which she did with the trio of the girl with the dragon tattoo trilogy. She purchased that. She's like, yo, I really enjoyed this flick. But this Dark Valley, she enjoyed it also. And I told her, well, I don't know that it was worth a purchase, but it's definitely worth a watch for people that really want to see them in action. And I hate to do spoilers, but I'm going to do a spoiler because I'm a spoiler kind of girl. When people tell me about movies, tell me about the damn movie because I don't look at movies the same way other people do. I don't watch them for freaking entertainment. I watch them for decoding, okay? And this Dark Valley movie is about a guy who is German. He was raised in America. And he had been around so-called Indians, and we know who that was. The people that know that the Paleo-Americans was niggas, melanin rich, Hershey chocolate bar colored and darker, the color of a United States of America, Indian head penny, genuine copper, brown-skinned, so-called African-American people, okay? And if you don't believe that, take 30 seconds to go and watch the YouTube video that is titled Saint Mary of the Good Winds. That's ST, abbreviation ST for Saint, M-A-R-Y, Mary of the Good Winds, Goodwinds. It's a picture of a portrait hanging up in Spain, in Seville. It was painted, it's the most accurate portrait ever painted of Columbus and the Indians he brought back with him. They didn't call these people Africans. They called them Indians. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Rick Steves' Europe. Rick Steves has a show on PBS called Rick Steves' Europe. And you watch this show when you want to get an opportunity. Since nobody's calling in, we're going to end this show on time. You watch this show when you're thinking about traveling to Europe, wherever in Europe. It's like, hey, if you're coming to Europe, if you're going to go to Spain, come check out this. If you're going to England, come check out that. If you're going to the city of London, come check it. This is what Rick Steves does. He tells you what sites to go see when you come to his Europe. Hey, you're coming to Ireland, come check out this. So on Rick Steves' Europe, he talked about the St. Mary of the Good Winds portrait. And there's a picture of Columbus, and there's a picture of a bunch of brothers with afros that he calls the Indians that Columbus brought back to Europe with him. I'm saying all that to say, this guy was German, grew up in America, came back to an area that his mother had run away from because his mother was running away from this sick-ass criminal element that I am talking about with these people. There's a little village in Germany, and everybody there, you have to maintain your virginity until your wedding day. And on your wedding day, patriarch of the community gets to rape your damn wife before you touch her. And by the time his sons grew up, him and his sons, they were gang raping your wife. It was to the point that everybody in that community, every family in that community had blood relatives tied to this patriot. And the head of the church knew all about it. And his mother had to run away from that community because this dude had raped her too, but her new husband, her new groom, had the audacity to try to save his goddamn life from this goddamn abuser and this goddamn torment. And when they tried to escape, they were ratted out because even though they paid for protection and silence, the patriarch paid more. So the husband was hung on a cross, nailed by the hands, nailed by the feet, hanging just like so-called Jesus on a cross, and left hanging there until he withered away to nothing, to show the rest of the town don't even think about this kind of shit. And they made his wife watch. Well, she managed to get away. She ran away, and she ran to America. Remember, I told you about those individuals that ran away to America, avoid this kind of persecution and mistreatment. And I said we were going to end on time. Shit, you know what I thought on time was? In the next 7 minutes. I was ready to wrap this up in the next 7 minutes. And I know it just dawned on me, Yaffa, this is supposed to be a 2-hour show, so you're going to have to ramble for another hour and 7 minutes. At any rate, she ran away. She got away, just barely. She had to break away from the priest. The Christian preacher was holding her down. And at everybody's weddings, he would sit up and talk this shit about the Immaculate Conception and how you had to be prepared to carry the Lord's seed. And this shit here, for everybody that thinks they're a Christian, this might wake you up about what that bullshit is really about and the kind of stank that goes on with it. It's a slow movie, so if you don't do slow, don't watch this. But if you awake, aware, and you do conscious, and you want to see that shit in action, and you want to see their stink in action, and you want to see what I was talking about the goddamn raping and the goddamn inbreeding and the goddamn incest, now they made it very clear that he had eyes on this woman when she was a little girl. Now, they didn't go far enough to let it be known. The reality is that he probably raped her as a child. In those communities, you get raped as children, but they didn't go there. It was like, oh, you know, and they explained to the family when they came to hang, we need a place to stay. They had been traveling so long and so far, they had nowhere to go. And they said, yo, this is how we do shit here. You want to stay here? This girl here, and he touched on her and examined her ass. Kind of like the police are touching on people and examining people. And this wrestler, by the way, they took naked goddamn pictures of him. Fucking freaks. Excuse my language. But goddamn it. A bunch of male cops, freaks, took pictures of this goddamn male wrestler naked because he had the audacity to ask for ID. And there I go, rambling around the world again. He got to putting his hands all on the little girl. It's like, yo, when she gets of it, you know, she has to stay a virgin until her wedding day. And on her wedding day, I get to go first, you know. And by then, you know, me and my sons get to go first. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. And all I could say is the young man that was born of this woman, he was not the child of the husband that was hung on the cross. He was the child of the patriarch, or the lord of the community, as they call it. That motherfucker came back, and I'm like, you go, brother. No joke. He was no joke. Him, I was like, I loved it. But see, he was the way he was because he was raised in America around my niggas. A lot of these people over here, they don't even know that they're not even like these crazy bastards in Europe. And a lot of them are going to find out real soon because a lot of new foreigners are coming in from Europe and they are some whole other crazy that a lot of the so-called Europeans here don't know shit about because they've been raised on some whole other shit here. They got this, oh, I'm white and I'm privileged, and you just forgot where the hell you came from. You just forgot your damn history and what your so-called founding fathers told you to avoid in this country. Anyway, if you get an opportunity, I would say the Dark Valley is worth a watch. I think it's unfortunately done in foreign language. I think it's done in German. You might have to read the subtitles. I don't recall, but this dude was no joke. He came back from America. He came back to that damn village, and he had news for his daddy and his motherfucking brothers. That's all I got to say, and that's a spoiler. Anyhow, oh, God, here goes the hacking. Spoiled hacking. We will be ending this show in the next 2 minutes. I'm getting calls about the DNA testing. The company that I was telling everybody about before that had all this integrity, they had worked extremely diligently at building their well-established reputation and their credibility. And, you know, me, I'm a credibility girl. And, you know, people start losing and showing me lack of integrity. I start having issues with you real goddamn quick. I don't expect perfection. God damn it. Stand for something. Whatever they standing for, I don't even know. I don't know that the entire company has been breached and infiltrated. I don't know if they got some asshole supervisor in, or if the person that does the certificates or the samples or whatever is on some whole other stuff. But they went from giving melanin-rich people, so-called black people, so-called Negro, so-called African-American people, 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% indigenous American. Now, no, nigga, you 0%, you're 0%, you're 0%, you're 0%. How you go from 10 to 30% with a 15% average? So now all my niggas is coming back 0, 0, 0, 0. Huh? Really? So you want $200 fucking for this? Kidding me? Hell, as messed up as they are, my niggas do better giving a fraction of that to 23andMe. Because as stank as they are, at least they will give you one drop. Okay? I only know one individual that 23andMe didn't even give them one drop. But see, I know how to look at the test. I mean, I know how to look at what they put out. First of all, 23andMe's computers are pissy. Talk about some shit. What kind of computer doesn't know how to add? What kind of computer will take 1.3 and 1.4 and call it 2.6? That's 2.7 all day long. But several people's 23andMe results come back looking crazy like that. At least they do give themselves the out of, yo, we got all this unassigned and unaccounted for shit over here. So maybe your indigenous, or they call it native, maybe your native is over there. They do cover their ass by not trying to claim that they're giving you a whole 100% reading. Like, well, you know, you're in this point, you're this, and this. But, you know, this much is unaccounted for and unassigned. That leaves them a damn out. This other company, on the other hand, for $200 damn, they leave nothing unaccounted for and nothing unassigned. They doing shit like, yeah, you 97% sub-Saharan African and 3% European. You're 0% Asian and 0% American. Really? Yeah, you're 6% European and 94% sub-Saharan African. You're 0% Asian and 0% American. Really? So this is the kind of shit you're doing. These are the kind of games you're playing with people. Now, one brother did slip through and come back 22%. Another brother did slip through and come back 18%. But when this company first got going, that's what they were giving all of our people. Somebody was like, oh, hell no, y'all can't be giving them niggas, you can't tell them who they are. So they went up in there and started changing shit. So now this company has a credibility issue. And I have to figure out how I'm going to deal with that. I don't know if I want to out them on Facebook and my website and Blog Talk, names and phone numbers and the whole nine. I can do all of that and say, stay the hell away from this company, run fast, run far. Or we let them know, you know, you got some shit going on over there. Maybe y'all don't know about it, but your shit has been infiltrated. And since your results are utilized in courts of law, you don't want somebody out here putting out that you're not credible and that you have no integrity in your company, really making all your shit invalid where it stands. I don't want to make them invalid because that almost invalidates the brother that slipped through with the 18% and the brother that slipped through with the 22% that all of my people should have got. Now, Ancestry, the Mormons have a tendency to give you 1% or 2%. It's starting to look like they're trying to get on this. We ain't giving no nigga more than 2% in any of these companies. Because if it's less than 2%, we can call it computational error. If it's less than 2%, we can call it noise. That's what they're trying to claim. Now, at the end of the day, this company says anything above 0% is worth looking into. Let me take a temperature again. So, you know, people are like, what do we do now? And it's like, don't we have any of our own people doing this? Come on, let me put the thermometer in your mouth, baby. And all I can say is not to my knowledge, and even if we did, them would be some folks that's so Afrocentric, they'd be useless also. Excuse me. I don't know how much longer I'm able to go. Not too much. On the verge of losing my voice. See, generally I'm at a point now. I'm in almost full recovery, which means I need to be running to the bathroom, hawking this up and spitting it in the toilet. And you know, one thing we don't need on air is silence. And I can't do that because it's not like Empress T can pick up the slack for me because she can't talk at all. Her issue is not illness, it's something else going on. But she can't talk at all. So, when it comes to these, thank you, sweetie. What you got? 103.3. Still hot, but not dangerously hot. All right. Here, take some of this medicine. Drink some of this tea. Sit up so you don't spill it. Yeah, girl. Anyway, Let me just say this. There are people that I know of that have managed to get far and fast, and I am losing my voice more. We're going to be wrapping it up very shortly here, that have managed to get far and fast without any DNA test whatsoever, without any dossiers. I know one brother that basically did all his handwritten stuff by hand and made it work. People are like, well, what do we have to do? This is what you have to do. What you have to do is you have to become clear. You have to become clear. You have to free your mind. Free your mind, and your behind will follow. Okay? Free your mind. The way you free your mind is to get clear. Have some orange juice. Have some orange juice. Sit up, don't spill it. What you have to do is become clear on your information and your data and your facts. You have to become so clear that you push out the lies, garbage, and trash that have been fed to you by the system, the television. Thank you, baby. The television system, the school books, the textbooks, the magazines, all the lies. And what people keep calling the so-called Hollywood Indians, which are a bunch of Europeans playing a role. Okay. Okay, we got a caller. Chase, Rod.
Yeah, hey, Yaffa.
Hey.
How you doing? It's just
Hi.
you. It's just
I'm
you.
better, and I could do a whole lot better than I'm doing, but it's all good. I'm still kicking.
Yes.
How are you?
Yeah, all right. It's just you tonight on the Wake Up Wednesday?
Yeah, today's Wake Up Wednesday.
Oh, so it's only you hosting it. Okay. Well, the only brief question I would like to ask, in regards to the birth certificate, I'm not sure. I think I heard one elder a recent blog talk about the birth.
You're breaking up so hard. You're breaking up so horribly.
Hear me good? Sorry. Am I sounding better?
Try it again. What's the question about a birth certificate?
Yeah, a elder that had his own blog talk talking about people should get their actual real birth certificate instead of the one that they get that their parents sign off. That they should get their actual one. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, with birth certificates.
You're not going to get the actual one unless you're a relatively new child, like 10 and under possibly, 5 and under, and 10 might be too old. If you're not a very new infant, and different so-called states or jurisdictions are doing things differently, and my voice is almost gone. Hopefully I can have enough voice to finish this up. The original record is something handwritten by your mother. But I do know people that say they don't even get a chance to hand fill out anything. They bring in the crap to people already pre-typed. When you walk out the hospital, the Social Security card's already applied for. So what you're going to wind up getting is not the original. The originals wind up at, 55 Water Street at the DPC. So whoever holds the original is the holder. What you can do is you can acquire a birth certificate, which is not the same as the little bitty skinny things that they're giving. Some places are giving people. California used to do them, and I don't know, for whatever reason they don't do them anymore. What did they call those things? I forget what they called them, but they were look like a little skinny strip. But what you want is a birth certificate that's going to come on at least an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cotton paper. It comes on banknote securities paper because it's for commerce. It usually has the state seal on it, and it usually has vital records or Bureau of Vital Statistics somewhere on it. What he may be talking about is so you have three things that happen when you first get here. Well, I don't know. Things keep, like I say, they keep changing the game and raising the bar.
Of course.
I can talk about my scenario and my son's scenario. When he arrived, they gave me a blank sheet of paper to fill out. You know, what's his name, gender, woo. And I put his last name first, then his first, well, not name, you know. I don't know anything about Hillary's Fun Camp for Adults, so I can't speak to that. Sorry. And I might have seen an email about it. Don't know what it is. I can't speak to it because I don't remember it. Even if I saw it, I look at it a lot. And lately, I haven't been feeling like looking at much. It's somebody texting me. I filled out a blank form of paper. I put his surname first, which is so-called last name, then his first, then his middle. That's how I wrote it. When they brought it back to me, they brought that information back. That was the original record, okay, that I filled out. They brought back to me a pre-typed document for me to sign. And I didn't even realize then that where I signed said informant. It said it. Why I didn't see it, don't ask me. I couldn't tell you why I didn't notice that the spot that I autographed said informant. I was like a lot of people. They just don't look at shit, don't read shit. And when somebody hands you something, go and sign here, then you just, I was one that just did. Okay, so they brought it back, and the way they brought it back was first name first, then middle name, then last. That's not how I created the document. But that was the switcheroo. And in many instances, it's all capitalized. That's also a switcheroo. Those are technical differences. Your parents generally have to fill these documents out with your surname first. And most of the things that you apply for a lot of times are surname first. But when you get your cards in the mail and you get your documents, your so-called driver's licenses, the so-called debit cards and credit cards and checks and everything, the shit comes back first name first. Now you filled the shit out, but that's the technical switch, the technical difference. They know that most people don't notice the technical difference that they talk about in the style manuals. In the style manuals, they mention technical difference. That's the word they use. But most people have no idea what the technical differences are. The technical differences are first name first instead of surname first. That's a technical difference. The technical differences are all capital letters instead of what you wrote, upper and lower case. That's a technical difference. But the first document is one that I hand wrote. Then they brought something that was pre-typed. I autographed that. That went to the county. Back in those days, and I don't know about now, you could request a free copy, kind of like when somebody dies, and I can only speak for California. When somebody so-called dies, you can request one copy, complimentary, of the death certificate or death record. Okay, so you could request a copy of the county's record back in the day. So I got a copy of the county record that had, my name, the doctor's name, I think a nurse's name, because that's three witnesses, or the three that make it real. Me, the doctor, and a nurse. That's the three, the triune trinity they talk about. That document that I got back was from the county with the county seal on it. When I arrived in California, the document was white with black that looked like reverse film. When my son arrived, what it was I think it was kind of like goldenrod in color, kind of, and it was embossed. But it was the county of Los Angeles document with the county seal on it and nothing else. By the time it became a birth certificate, which is the third step up, I wrote one by hand. They typed up one that we signed. That one went to the county, and I got a copy with the county seal on it. They didn't give me the original that I signed. They gave me a copy of it. Okay? That they forwarded to the state, and the state took that document and laid it on a copy machine and copied it onto fancy paper with a a fancy border so it looks like a certificate, and at the bottom it says banknote securities. That's what they now it says. Now that document says vital statistics, and it has the state seal on it. So some people are talking about one document that has the county seal on it before it ever gets to the state, and what I've been told is that some states don't even allow it to stop that way anymore. They're sending it right on out. The counties are sending them right to the states now. Others, they'll do the county and then the state. But there's the original document that I signed. There's a document that they typed up and brought back for me to sign. Well, no, not signed. Did I sign it? Well, there was a document that I filled out. They brought back a document, a typed-up document that I autographed and or so-called signed. And you need to know the definition of sign or signature. I probably shouldn't say sign because the word signature means that's me entering my autograph or name at the bottom of an instrument to attest to the validity of the instrument. That's what a signature is. Whenever you sign something where it says SIGN, which is a contraction or abbreviation for signature, the word signature means you attest that the instrument that you're placing your name on is valid. That's what signature is. But you don't know if it's valid or not because all of the terms and conditions are not fully disclosed. And not only that, it winds up tying and binding you to the Vatican signatura, which is the same word with one letter difference at the end. SIGNATURA is only one letter difference from SIGNATURE. Well, vowels are removable and interchangeable. On state 1040 forms, when you're filling out your tax forms and you send that back, it says sign, and the word SIGN is there. Well, sign is short for signature, which binds you to the Vatican signatura, which is a tribunal. Okay, well, we didn't know all of that. Most people don't know and still don't know. That's why a lot of times they'll put the X there. They'll put the cross there. They'll say sign here, sign here, and they'll put X, and they don't know why. They're instructed to do that. Put an X here and an X here and an X here and hand it to the person and tell them to sign it on all the X's. That's what everybody does. Well, people think that that's a one-sided contract, and it is, but then again it isn't, because then you have somebody that signed a mark, but it's not valid because in order for them to do the mark, there's supposed to be two witnesses. Anyway, you have three different documents. The document that the parent filled out on blank form, the document they took that information from and typed up and came up with a birth record, and they took the birth record and copied it onto banknote securities paper and made it a birth certificate. So they're exactly the same document on different paper. My so-called birth certificate looks exactly like the document that the county created, except it's been copied onto fancy paper, and it still has that black reverse image thing going on, looking like somebody printed it in reverse. Black paper, white writing showing through. Whereas my son's does not look like that because his wasn't done in a reverse, but it's exactly the same document copied onto special paper. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. You're not going to get the original. The original the hospital would have, which is the original form filled out. That's the original record. The original birth record is with the vital statistics because the county forwarded it to the vital statistics so they could put it onto a birth certificate and create that other person that has a name that's similar to yours. You yourself and it are not one and the same, but they are very scarce. It is you, but it is not you yourself. So you can get the birth certificate from the state. If you're a child, the parent can probably get the birth record, which is not the birth certificate, because it doesn't become a birth certificate until it gets to the state. If you're dealing with a small child, you may be able to get the birth record from the county, and maybe not, depending on where you are. And then there's the record that the mother filled out on black and white forms and gave to the hospital to create the birth record. You have the record, the birth record, and the birth certificate. Those are three different things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if I answered your question or if I just lost you further.
Well, the reason why I brought this question up because this is a man named Ron March on his show on this same day talked about birth certificates, the way how he's explained, and he is also elder, older than you, and it seemed like what he's conveying, the information-wise, seems he knows what he's doing, but at times I always ask a second person like yourself or anybody else to see anything else different in regards to that. To see if there's like a link. You know, that's why I kind of threw that question at you. Hope I didn't confuse you.
And I don't know if I answered it. No, I'm not. I'm not confused. I just hope I didn't confuse you, and more importantly, I hope I didn't ramble on and not answer the question. And I just remember the other thing that they sell are abstracts. They have what they call a birth abstract, which is just a little sliver of paper. Then they have the birth certificate, and most people cannot get their hands on the birth record.
Okay, good.
Can you comprehend that?
Yeah.
The record is created with the hospital. The hospital creates a birth record and forwards that to the county. The county takes the birth record and forwards it to the state, and the state creates a birth certificate.
That makes sense. Okay.
And the only reason it's a birth certificate is because they take the record, the birth record from the county at Vital Statistics, or at the state. The state is going to be your Bureau of Vital Statistics for your state. And they copy it onto cotton, banknote, securities paper, and it looks like a certificate. It's got the fancy border around it and all the fancy colors.
Yep.
Well, different states do shit differently. Some of them are, California's is colored. I don't know what Arizona's look like. Different states, I've seen them, beige. I've seen them green, without colors or whatever. It just depends. Each one of these little states is a so-called country. California state is a country. The state of California is the corporation handling the operations for said country.
Correct.
And people think there's no difference, and I wish I had known how important it was. I used to live in Los Angeles near where was my house? Like 105th. Anyway, they were building the 105 freeway. People in Los Angeles know what I'm talking about. They displaced a lot of melanin-rich people to build this freeway, and they're notorious for that shit. Oh, we're going to run a railroad track through your community. We're going to run a freeway through your community. We're going to blow your community up. They're good at that shit. There was a sign posted at the base of the freeway where they had one of these ramps going up, and it was talking about who was funding the freeway and whatever. And I remember it clearly said Los Angeles County of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. And I saw it, and I knew it was significant, but it didn't dawn on me to take a picture of the shit, so that people can see that there is a difference between Los Angeles County and the county of Los Angeles. If there was no difference, there would be no need for them to list the two on their goddamn sign. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, that was my only question tonight. I mean, there's nothing more I have to probably listen to this show in the archives to pick up what missed. But, you are, I guess you are catching a little bug, the flu, or some cold.
No, I'm getting over this bug. I don't know what this is. I haven't been sick. Last time I was sick had to be at least 10 years ago. I don't do sick.
Damn.
I don't cross my will talk. I don't even know what that is no more. You know what I'm saying? So for me to be sick, my baby's never been sick. Never, ever. This is her first time getting sick. I mean, twice she had, little girls needing to learn how to wipe properly, and cause herself a urinary infection, not wiping properly, but that's not the same as sick. She never had a cold. She's never had a fever. She's never had an ear infection. She's never had a headache, a stomach ache, nothing. She almost died last night. I don't know what the hell. You must have tuned in late. I said earlier I almost lost her last night. Maybe people didn't know what I meant by that. But, yeah, so, people, have to understand that a lot of things open the way for shit to hit you. Crossing your will is the most major one, and I've started doing that way too much lately, doing things I don't want to do, taking calls when I don't feel like just stuff that I don't want to do. That's the first thing you do to start putting holes in your aura. You know, just basically, if I'm sick like this, I open the door for it some kind of way. So now I'm in the process of recovering. So as bad as I sound, if you'd have talked to me 3 hours earlier, you'd have barely been able to get a straight sentence out of me that you could even make out, because I could barely talk at all. So I'm getting better. I'm on the road to a full recovery. I just gotta. The problem with my baby is she's refusing to drink. Well, she had been refusing to drink the teas that I would make. The herbal teas that I was making for medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But when she almost died last night, I had to get her cold, freezing ass, which was sweating profusely, but she was shivering, talking about how cold she was. When she had to get her cold behind in a cold tub of water with alcohol, and have her hair all in the water, and get out dripping wet with the fans blowing, she realized then, okay, maybe I better do as I'm told. Maybe I better, because I try not to force her to do shit. I try not to make her cross her will. So if I tell her, I need you to drink this, and she'll tell me, no, I don't want it. I'm not drinking it. I let her go with that. But last night, I told her, from now on, you need to do what I say, because we almost lost you last night for your failure to listen when I asked you to do something. You need to listen and do what I asked you to do. So now she's taking the medication, so she'll be in a full recovery very soon. Also, by medication, I mean herbs, mostly a tea with, oranges, lemons, garlic, because garlic is a natural antibiotic. It's the closest thing you're going to get to penicillin when you don't have medical and stuff like that.
I see.
Anyway, but you don't want none from China. Shit, they grow the shit in China in human feces. You want to do garlic, you make sure you read the damn package and make sure it says grown in Florida or California or some shit from like that. Real talk.
I see.
Yeah, but I'm doing better. Thanks. I'm just starting to lose my voice again.
Well, since you never got sick in that lengthy period of time, that's pretty good. I mean, even me, myself, I try to keep my health as best as possible, and I rarely get the usual colds and stuff, Anytime
if you want to not catch that shit, you got to just have your spirit up. Have your purple and golden egg of security up and try to avoid crossing your will as much as possible. And remembering to reestablish the egg when you do. That's how you avoid getting sick.
Yeah.
It's not just me getting on the bus and going out in public, because we were in the car going out in public a lot also. But I have been very depleted lately. And I've been saying it for the last couple of months. I'm getting tired of talking. I don't want to keep talking. And yet I keep talking, which is crossing my will. So I open myself up for this kind of nonsense.
I see. And I guess you don't do colonics either, right? Dr.Yaffa? You don't do no colonics, right?
I don't trust everybody with that. You know what I'm saying? If you get somebody that knows what they're doing, especially if they can use ozone, which a lot of people can't because a lot of states have made it and counties have made it illegal. If you can get somebody that knows what they're doing, it can be beneficial to get a lot of old stuff out. There's something out called Dr. Natura, which has gotten very expensive because I started putting them on the map a while ago. But it's a product. I think their website is drnatura.com, drnatura.com. They have a colonics, COLONIX, like X-ray, kit that you can buy, and each kit is a 30-day kit. Back when I was telling everybody about it, it was like $50, $55 with shipping. Last time I checked, it was above $80-something for the damn kit. Damn, the map now. So that is something that's healthier and safer. It's all herbs where you take them orally and it starts cleaning your colon from the neck down, as opposed to somebody going up. But if people do that wrong, they can cause you to die. You can wind up worse off if you get with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, or somebody on some vicious shit. Oh, this is one of the niggers. I'm gonna try to kill them. And, our people we really just can't trust everybody right now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, man.
I know not everybody is against us, but to me, the people that are for us, they're remaining entirely too damn silent for the likes of my ass. So I don't know.
Well, I'm just one day hoping that Dr. Suzak comes on this show one day. I'll wake up Wednesday still.
She had said as far as that goes, Suzar is willing to go. And whenever we can get her ready, I was going to put out a call to help get her on. But to get her on, she has to set up her site and set up a PayPal or whatever. And I don't think she has all that set up. And I don't know if she wants to. And I'm telling her, whenever you're ready, sis, you need to get a PayPal or something set up on your site so I can even begin to send people your way to help get you there. She needs to get back to Samoa to get information that she created to disseminate to you guys on air. And to get there is one thing, and to get back is one thing, but she has to also export, large containers of her property. Because, she was in Samoa, not American Samoa, but Samoa. She was in Samoa when that tsunami went through there, So a lot of her stuff is still, did you say Hawaii? No, I said Samoa, not Hawaii.
Samoa.
No, Samoa and Hawaii are not the same place.
Where's
she was
Samoa
in Samoa. Samoa is one of the islands. It's an island. I'm geographically challenged, so shit. Don't ask me. Grab a globe. If you want, I can go in my baby's room and get her globe and look at it and tell you where it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to help generate the funds to get her to Samoa and back, and for her to export this very huge container of documents she created. And, I told her I want to do that for her, but she doesn't have it set up. And I'm like, yo, sis, as soon as you set up some stuff, I can tell my listeners that you're ready to talk to them, but you have to go to Samoa first. And I'm sure that they'll start donating to help you. But right now, shit, they don't even know where to send nothing. They can't send it yet. But she has agreed that when she's ready, she will come on air, but she has to get to Samoa and back with some some stuff first. All right, let me see. The baby's always trying to play with this thing. It's like, girl, this thing is made out of gemstones. Okay, Samoa. Now, you need to talk while I'm looking at this because she can't talk, and her thing is, unless we got another caller or something, her thing is, silence is deadly on air.
Okay, I'll say something by the time you look for her. Well, to anybody that's listening, this is Wake the Hell Up Wednesday with your host, Dr. Yaffa Bey. And this is Empress T, Kia Matia Dara, formerly known as...
never mind. It's Empress T. Zuriah, not Zura.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Zura.
Thank
anyway, no, it's T. Malgia. Thank you. I'll do it myself. The call-in number here is 646-716-7572. Thank you for calling. Tuning in to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. I seriously doubt, unless we get a call, that I'm going to be on air beyond 20 minutes from now. Because 25 minutes from now.
That's fine.
I'm looking at this map here. Let me find where this globe. See, it'd be better if Empress T could talk, because then she could hold this down while I'm trying to look at this, because I don't have my glasses on.
I would say a disclaimer.
I don't have my magnifying glass on. And I'm going to tell you what, if I don't find it real quickly, I'm going to tell you to get your ass on Google or wherever and try to find it yourself.
Okay. So that everybody remind those, say, tune in for Life After Christianity. This is a broadcast that will wake you up out of the trenches of the trenches of Christianity and other religions that our people should not be following. But that's my opinion. Tune in every Saturday at, I believe, 7 o'clock to 9.
All right, I don't see it. So.
Okay, I had tried to Google it.
And yeah, Google it, because it was further than I thought. When I remember her telling me, it was further than I thought. You know, first she was out in. Anyway, I'd have to sit here. I'm looking at this thing, spinning this thing, and I see the Indian Ocean, Saudi Arabia. I mean, I see the big things: Mali, South America. I can't say that I can get my eyeballs on a lot of these little islands. I see them, but I need my glasses on, and we really don't have time for that. But I do appreciate you calling in. Look for it on the map yourself, and whenever Suzar is ready and has it set up, I'll let the listeners know if they want to hear from her. We need to try to support her and make donations to get her here, but in order to do that, she's got to set up PayPal. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Thank you. Empress T said to tell the listeners Life After Christianity is at 4 p.m. Mountain. Also, we got a caller from area code 502. Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi.
This is Osiris Calloway. We've talked. I believe Samoa is in the Pacific Ocean it's near Hawaii and Fiji. It's in that area, for those who are looking for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sure y'all that. And also, I heard y'all talking about colonics and this and that. There is a product called diatomaceous earth. It's like a flour. You just mix it with water, and it kills parasites. It also draws out toxins and heavy metals, and it's safe, and it's good for your hair and your nails. And I use it personally myself, and it's been great. So I wouldn't recommend a colonic actually. I would recommend that. Diatomaceous earth.
Let me just say this about diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth, when consumed, which you're talking about consuming, I know people that utilize it and expand flour with it and things like that. In insects and rodents, it dries them out from the inside out. Actually, that's what kills the insects, because diatomaceous earth is something, if you get it in food grade, it has to be food grade. That's
Absolutely.
something that you use to kill roaches, silverfish, fleas, ticks, bed bugs, crickets, and it'll kill small rodents like small mice, small rats. If you have enough of that down around the perimeter of a property, especially in an apartment building where people are moving in and moving out, moving in and moving out, and in the perimeter, around the perimeter of your cupboards, cabinets, things of that nature, and around the perimeter of your closets, such that anything crawling through a light switch or electrical outlet, when it crawls down the wall and hit the floor and come out, it's going to have to come through the diatomaceous earth. When it goes through that stuff, the critter is so busy trying to get the powder off of them, they keep trying to lick it off. And it causes them to dry out from the inside out, and then you find them as dead skeletons laying around, including mice.
I haven't heard that. What I've researched is that it gets on their exoskeleton, and that's what's causing them to dry as they move.
No, that's not what I found. What I found is that what happens is they try to get it off of themselves. They try to clean themselves and try to clean it off. And in the process, they wind up consuming it, and it starts drying them out from the inside out. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying this is what I found out. Well, you might have found out something else. So I'm saying that to say, now that's for insects. Unless I'm wrong, little small mice and small rats don't have the exoskeleton. So what is it that dries them out and causes them to become dried up skeletons?
I don't think it's used for them. I don't think it will.
No, it's not. But I've lived in apartment buildings, and I don't do critters. I don't like critters. I don't even like apartment buildings.
There might have been poison in that particular kind that they use.
No,
the kind that
no. Food grade.
Well, I'm
not saying you're wrong.
But I found it to work. It helps clean the colon out, and it will kill parasites. So if anyone's looking for that, to get that, I would recommend using. You don't use a lot. You just use like a teaspoon of it and some water, and you mix that around.
Bentonite clay is better. Bentonite clay is better and safer. Bentonite. Bentonite clay.
Does that kill parasites as well?
It has to get them out. Doesn't kill them.
I haven't tried
the point
that.
I'm making, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to debate. I'm saying this. You're saying one thing to the public, so I have to say something else to the public, and the public can take whatever they want to do with it. They can take what you say and use it for hair and nails and killing parasites, or they can take what I say and go, well, hell, if it kills insects from the inside out and it kills mice and rats from the inside out, it might kill my ass and dry me up from the inside out. That's all I'm saying.
I've been using it for about a year.
That's great.
Every day.
That's good.
And
now the public knows. Now they know. They can take the information that was given. They can do their own due diligence and do some research on it, and they can figure out for themselves.
Correct.
They want to mess around with consuming consuming diatomaceous earth. I would not. It's not poisonous, but I would not consume it. Me, myself. And you do. Have so for the last year every single day. So people can do what they want to do. I would say bentonite clay combined with Dr. Natura is better.
Okay. How do you feel about black soap? Because I hear some people say they don't like it and some people love it.
I think that's up to the individual.
Do you use African black soap?
I have.
And you haven't recently?
Soap is soap, but I really don't particularly like bar soap.
Okay. Well, they sell that in like a liquid as well.
I will use it, but I really try to avoid purchasing it.
Why's that?
The cakey thing, the way it disappears and on the shower, sitting in the soap dish. Just a waste of soap just getting withered away because it's getting wet. Depends on what is used in the soap. What kind of give me a moment, let me take a temperature again. What kind of I just don't. How about that? I just don't. I prefer not to purchase bar soap. I like liquid soap. Period. Here, open up, mommy. Stick this in. Let me take a temperature. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. How's your code or your? You said it was a code.
Okay, now you're getting hot again.
Ooh.
I'm getting well. If I can get my baby to drink the tea like I'm drinking it, I can get her well. Well, she's starting to drink it now. She started drinking it last night. Well, let me see just a moment. Oh, God, you're getting a little too hot up there. Here, take this. Drink this. Sit up. Is there anything else I can answer for you?
No, ma'am. I caught the show late. It's just been hell. But you did say something about doing something against your will. I don't know if I caught the phrase correct.
Doing things that you don't feel like doing things that you don't want to do, doing things that you would rather not do, is doing things against your will.
That opens you up to get sick and different things?
Absolutely. It puts holes in your aura.
Ooh.
As soon as you start crossing your own will, No, have some orange juice. As soon as you start crossing your own will and stepping on your own toes, you open the door for other people, other entities, and other things to step on you too.
How do you clear that out?
You try to not cross your will. It's difficult when you have children and elders, but you want to attempt to not cross your will. Don't try not to do things you don't want to do.
I've been doing that all day, and I feel sick.
Take that back. Take that back, because putting it out there also contributes to it. Like me keep saying, I don't even feel like talking. I don't want to talk. Well, the audience is like, okay, well, nigga, we can fix that. You cannot talk.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Now you're not talking. Now you can't talk. Power in thought and speech and power in will crossing, or avoiding will crossing. That's how you stay in your power, trying to keep abreast of what you're saying and trying to avoid crossing the will. As much as possible. It's difficult for mothers and, even people that have elders. It's like you come in, you've been working all day. You just want to come in and sit down and put your feet up and lay back and read a book or listen to some jazz and then your mother or your grandmother comes in, baby, I need to go. I need a ride. Can you give me a ride? I need to go to the bank real quickly before they close. And you sitting up thinking, damn, all I wanted to do was sit down. What you supposed to do? But this is an elder. Get her to the bank and give her a ride is a crossing of your will, something you don't feel like doing. You couldn't wait to get home. Now you got to go back out?
It happened to me 5 times today at 9:30.
So that's crossing your will. So you take her out. Then when you come back, you have to remember to put up your egg, or before you go, you have to tighten up your egg, and I don't always remember to do that. Okay, we got another caller here. This may be the last caller because it's almost into showtime. In the event that we do go over, because I don't know what the caller is going to say, thank you for calling, unless you had another question, Osiris.
No, I did not.
Thank you so much. All right, we got caller 205 on the line. Just in case this call goes over, and if it does, it will be the last call. You may want to hang up if your Boost Mobile, just like my ass. I can't even hang up because nobody can commercial for me. We're going to basically have to stop on time. But the call-in number is 646-716-7572 for anybody that's Boost Mobile. Because, Boost, you will get kicked off in 2 hours. 205, how may I help you? Thank you for calling.
Hello?
20. Hi.
Oh, how are you? I'm on the air?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well, I was just, it's amazing. I hate to be the last caller because I'm really enjoying your show. But it's amazing that I just got this Boost phone turned back on after probably about 2 years. And I was listening to your show like 2 years ago, and I just happened to call it because it still is programmed to my number. And I am very impressed, and I love listening to your show, and I will be staying tuned.
Oh, thank you, but it's not my show. This is Empress T's show. I'm just one of her guests. I only come on the last Wednesday of every month. So I think you're trying to say thank you that you enjoy Empress T's show. Wake the Hell Up Wednesday is not my show. My show was American Empire Restored.
Okay.
Unless you just like the night that I'm on and what I'm saying. I'm not sure.
I mean, it may be, I don't know, I love listening to the show, but I think I particularly heard you the last time I listened to this show.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so flattered. Did you have a question for me?
I actually didn't. I actually was listening, and I had said I just wanted to call in and let you know that I really love listening to this show.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
And you're doing a wonderful job giving information.
You're very welcome. And absolve me for tonight not being a better show, but, I'm amazed that I'm able to talk as well as I am. It's good to know that I'm not hacking, whacking, and coughing all over the show. Thank goodness for small miracles. Well, actually, I did a little bit, but you have no idea how bad it was.
Well, I'm glad you recovered.
Cough. It was crazy. I had no voice, but I'm amazed that you got through, and I'm appreciative that you appreciate the show. And I had 2 people, one of whom did reach back out to me, that made donations on my website. I haven't checked today to see what's going on. This is not pertaining to you. If you did not get a thank you note from me, it's because when I tried to respond to your donation, and I tried several different times from different email addresses, and it kept coming back invalid address. Whatever address you use, to make the donation with PayPal was either one that was old, no longer used, or somehow invalid. There was only two people, one of whom called, and I talked to them, and another one did not call. If you didn't get a thank you, let me tell you thank you. You know, when you buy something from the website, my website says thank you. If you donate something from the website says thank you, and I also send a thank you note. So if you haven't gotten one, it's because I haven't checked the site today, which I haven't checked it yet. I mean, I went there and I made that was last night. I added the link last night, but I haven't gone to my website today or checked the website email. But this is for the one person that is like, yo, I sent that nigga some money. I ain't got no nothing. I ain't heard from her. Your email address is not valid. But thank you so much for the donation. I always appreciate any individual that thinks I'm worthy of them sharing their hard-earned revenue with me. Thank you so much. Now, having said all of that, I'd say unless there's one more caller, we out. Unless you have something else you'd like to add, 205.
No, I'm fine. I just wanted to get that call in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, I apologize. Please absolve me for hacking and whacking and coughing and sniffling and all this other crap on you guys, but it was either that or no show at all. Like I said, if I had opted not to do the show tonight, I would have wound up not coming back ever. You know, I keep telling Tia I'll try to give her notice, but I think she kind of already knows I'm moving in that direction. She was like, well, you want to do it in a week? I was like, nah, I can't do it next week. Can't do it next week. I had a listener that was like, no, you need to cancel the show. And it's like, if I cancel the show, I'm gone for good. So I came in to try. It was going to be a short show. Let's get this one last caller in. We got like 7 minutes. Thank you so much, 204-434. And I know the call is going to end because my phone is going to hang up.
Dr. Yaffa Bay, I'm glad you said something. I thought it was just my phone with the 2-hour cutoff, but I have a quick question. I'll say it quick. I just wanted to know, I know about the 23andMe differences. Do you recommend something else? I'm getting started.
You know, I'm getting real sick of these people, all of them, because they all on some all the bullshit with our people, including this one that used to give 10 to 30%. Now they're giving 0, 0, 0, 0. And one individual reached out and she was like, yeah, but they gave me like 2% American, 2% Asian, or 3% Asian, and mostly sub-Saharan Africa. I'm like, whoa. So they didn't jump on the 2% party too, huh? The Mormons at Ancestry.com, where you do your genealogy research, the people that have everybody's records. They have railroad retirement records. They have military discharge records. They have death records. They have census records. They got all these goddamn records from way back when. They do DNA, and I don't know who does it. It may be 23andMe. I'm not so sure. I kind of have my doubts. But if you want to order it, they charge the same price as 23andMe. I will say that so far, and I haven't seen Ancestry because I was going to do Ancestry.com, but my transmission went out. So scraping up $1,500 to rebuild the tranny is more important than this damn $99 DNA test. It's going to have to wait.
True indeed.
But they charge $99. I don't know if they add shipping the way 23andMe does. 23andMe so far has the most impressive package. It's put together well. It's prepaid to send back. This one company, I don't even know why they're in business. Like, y'all charge twice as much as these other folks, and you're doing a fraction of what they're doing. At any rate, if you want to order the kit, you go to dna.ancestry.com to order it. It was on sale for St. Patrick's Day with like 10% or $10 off, but it's back up. When the results come in, you have to go to Ancestry.com and then click on your results to get your results. But that's not how you order. I guess you can order it there, but you go to dna.ancestry.com. Now, wait, what they will do, they'll give you 1% or 2%, which is more than 23andMe gives for most people. They'll give you 1% or 2%. I haven't really seen anybody get more or less yet. They don't break down your American, but if they do something like you're 3% African, you're 3% European, they'll break it down further and say, let's say you're 3% European. 1% of that is from the area of Greece, 1% of that is from Italy, 1% of that is from Portugal. They might do that. If they say you're 3% African, they'll go further and say, well, 1% of that is from the Cameroons, 1% of that is from Senegal, and 1% of that is from Ghana. They'll do that at Ancestry.com.
Okay.
That's it. And really, I'm about to get sick and tired of all of them, to tell you the God's honest truth, because it's all a Ponzi scheme, but it's like, we paying you to fuck us further. Excuse my language.
I hadn't done it yet, and I'm just able to get to the money, and I was like, I'm hearing something different, so I was just holding on and asking.
Ancestry, 23andMe will give you a drop. They have a tendency, though, what made me pissed off with them is they were giving people a drop and then turning around and taking it away.
Oh,
that's what I don't like. Yeah.
Okay.
But they'll give you a drop, 0. Usually with 23andMe, you're going to come back 0 point something.
That's ridiculous.
Ancestry.com, you might get 1% or 2%. And they'll just say American. They won't break that down any further. It's still what % American, what % Asian, what % African, what % European, but they'll break it down into regions at Ancestry.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I know y'all want to close out, but I'll yield the floor, and thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, and thank you all for tuning in and for being patient with my lack of voice. And we're going to ring out with the close of the music because my phone is about to hang up any minute now, probably in the next 60 seconds. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next month, the last Wednesday of the month. I know I'll be better by then. I'll be better before the month is out, to tell you the truth. All right. Harambe, thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. This is Sister Yaffa Bay. You can reach me at 213-928-6155, or you can go to yaffabey.com, YAFFABEY.com. Take us out, sis. Okay, she done fell asleep. Good night, everybody. Harambe.